again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on day 6 of the 30 days of sketches over on Christy's Beautiful Life. Go ahead and check that out, and I will leave links to the Facebook group below. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and I had out the Close to My Heart Timber collection, and I just decided to go with it, and I made several different layouts because I was several days behind on the sketches, so I just went ahead and did them all. Now this one calls for one strip down the middle with 3 different pictures, and you'll see here that I pulled out my son's senior photos from December of 2019. My sister-in-law is a photographer, and she went ahead and during our family Christmas, we usually spend, a week together for Christmas. So she went ahead and took his senior pictures, and it is so funny if you actually seen the place where these pictures were taken, you would be baffled at how well she did it, making it not look like my mom's rent house, because my mom and dad sold their house and then we're building a house, and I had to live in a crappy rent house, and it was a crappy backyard. But I mean, she did really good. She has like the snow in the background. I love my sister-in-law. So if you're watching, and shout out Sally, woo woo. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim them down, and I trim them down to what I believe is going to look best on the photos, and then guess what, they're too big, so I ended up trimming them down to fit the layout. I have several of these. These are just ones that I printed, so I just really wanted to get them scrapped, and I really don't have that many pictures in this orientation, because, everything is taken with a cell phone. Back in the day when we had cameras, everything was landscaped, and now with cell phones, everything is portrait. So these 3 are all different and all in the right orientation. So I went ahead, and I'm just making them even. So what I'm doing here, I need to change my trimmer blade because it's not sharp. And my little Creative Memories guillotine trimmer that I use for photos, it doesn't go larger than like 4.5 on the marks, obviously, or whatever, 6, 5, I don't know, 5.5. Anyway, I couldn't see it, so I couldn't make them all completely even. So I just went ahead and used my Fiskars trimmer. And right here, you're going to see my little faux pas. I was checking to see how long that's going to be. Actually, I totally messed up because this was supposed to be the 12 by 12 background paper. It was. And I cut it. And then I was like, crap. So I went ahead, mid my own way. And I just pulled out the die right there. I'm going to go ahead and use some metal dies. I'm a big shot. And been doing a lot of that lately. Been super inspired by some people that I've been watching on YouTube. And I also went through and created a inventory binder using my red Filofax. And so basically all my mixed media, and which FYI has come in really handy for the layout that I did for Random Friday today, to find the color, because my embossing powders are in a drawer, and instead of having to pull each one out and guess what color it may turn out to look like, it was freaking phenomenal, because I just opened up the book and looked in there, and I was like, yeah, I want these 2 colors. Those will work great. I also went through and did all my punches, which I do not have a lot of punches. I have a lot more dies than I have punches, and because I never used them, so I couldn't justify buying them, even though I bought some of them. And now that I'm getting in to use them, I can justify using them. See right there? That is not going to work. And I don't really want it to overlap the little wood grain banner piece that I stuck there, because that's what my hearts have to go on. So I'm going to go ahead and take these photos, and I'm going to trim them down as far as I can. The length is perfect, or the width is perfect. The length is not. So right here, I was able to trim that one off a lot. I was going to say pretty much, but that's poor grammar. And I'm going to just try to get these on here, and I'm still like, oh, this is just horrible. So I'm going to pull them up, and I'm going to make it work, all right? I'm going to actually overlap the picture on top of the banner piece that I made there, and I'm okay with that. I do like the way the layout turns out. I noticed right there that my diamond paper wasn't quite 12 by 12. Wasn't quite 12 inches long there when I cut it. So I must have cut too much off when I trimmed off the zip strip. So right here, I'm just trimming it down, and I didn't push hard enough through the picture, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the scissors and just trim that up nicely. And I did go ahead, and I know in the sketch it shows that there should be a border around the pictures, but that is not going to work. So it's only on the sides, and I make them touch lengthwise. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick that right on. It's going to line up with the picture. And yeah, then I'm going to just totally forget to add that third picture. I'm going to mess with this for a minute. I cut out 2 of these pieces at 2 inches because there's like a little banner piece at the top up there, but they're not really connected, not real sure. So I go ahead and do it once, and I mess it up. I don't know what I was thinking. Not gonna lie to you, I have no idea. So I get it like all, I'm gonna cut them. I put them together. I'm gonna cut them so that they're exact same length, and I cut them the wrong way. Now, mind you, I just, for some reason, for the life of me, I don't know why I had to cut them again, because let's be honest, all I had to do was flip them around, right? Yeah, I didn't do that. So I get it on there, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to go the other way. All I had to do, people, was just flip them. But for some reason in my head, I was like, oh, they're cut wrong, and that was it. So I did it again. And I did exactly the same thing. I just flipped them. Like, you guys ever do that when you like look at it and you're like, why did you go through all the extra? But it's fine. It's whatevs, right? It's whatevs. So right there, I'm just trimming off the remainder of what was on the zip strip from when I trimmed it. And like I said, I need to change my trimmer blades because they're leaving little fuzzies on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut one because I'm like, well, I did it wrong last time. I didn't. I just put them on wrong. I love myself. That makes me laugh to watch, and I feel kind of stupid. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get these adhered down. And I'm like, all right, I did it. It only took me like 400 hours to do it. But I get that on there. And then I'm like, all right, that really blends in with my background that I chose, the solid colored cardstock. So I just grabbed the first black marker that my little hand landed on. And it happened to be a Sharpie. So it's cool. So I just drew a couple of sketchy lines just to make that come off the page a little bit more. And I'm super happy with that. And I thought the black would be okay. Yeah, I probably could have used brown because of all the browns tones in here. But the wood grain has black behind it, like in the crevices. Like, yeah, it's dark brown, but it's black to me. So, and this paper here has a little black on it. So right there, I am going to go ahead and just finish off the layout with drawing on this as well, just to tie in the lines. Otherwise, they look really weird up there on the banners to me, that there's only that bit of sketching on there. And I actually end up coming back and I do it on the wood grain piece as well. Obviously, really not going to be able to see it. In person, you can see it, so that's pretty cool, but I felt like it finished it off. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut out all these little wonky hearts because there were hearts right there on the sketch. I'm going to take this little piece right here of these 3, and I'm going to go ahead and use my fine liner with my art glitter glue in it. And I'm just like roughly scattering it around all those little pieces. And I do get those stuck down. And then I saved the insides, and I'm going to go ahead and pop those up on some foam tape and stick them in there just because this layout was looking extremely flat to me and I wanted a little bit of dimension on it. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just pop these up. Boom. And I just go ahead and get the foam tape on all 3 of them. And I really sped this up. Like, I wish I could really go that fast in real life. But I sped that up like ×4 so that you didn't have to sit there and watch me do all that. And as you can see, I just pop them back in. I was like, oh, I hope these all match. And believe it or not, they did. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. I'm going to go ahead and take this red twine. That's maroon. And I'm just going to tie this little bow. I seen this on a video and I cannot remember who did this. Oh, let me think about this. That is how they tied the bow, and I was in love, and I was like, that person is a genius, genius, genius. And if I can remember who it is, or I find the video again, or who does it like that, please leave a comment below so I can totally give her props, because that was like life changing for me. I did go ahead and go off screen and grabbed just some black letter stickers that I have in a recollections book, and created my title. It's going to be Senior Picture Day. And I did go ahead and put the 19 on there as well, because I wanted to remind myself that even though this is his senior pictures and he was a 2020 graduate, this was done in 2019 at Christmas. So, and the title is supposed to go in that general vicinity, but it is too long and it's going to cover up all my hearts. So I go ahead and split my title up after I do all this. So I'm going to fishtail banner it, and I'm like, all right, I'm digging it. Let's see. And I'm like, this sucker is just too long to go down here. You're not going to be able, no, it's just not going to work. So I'm like, where can I go with this? So I have this wonderful idea. I'm going to just go ahead and cut the senior off. And then I'm like, now where am I going to go with picture day? I'm like, that looks stupid. So I do futz with this for way too long. And I go ahead and trim it down and make the banner pieces smaller. And I'm still trying. And then I eventually just go ahead and put the second part of the title right in there where it goes. I'm going to go, since it's going to be popped up, I went ahead and had to put the foam tape right there so it didn't dip. And I did use glue, as you can see, to adhere that all down. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the senior up there on that little banner piece. So that is it. There's not too much more that I'm going to do to this layout. I do believe that I pull in just one little embellishment sticker that I had sitting in my stash. And I'm not even sure what it says. I also grabbed some Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I add some of that around the layout. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Click that subscribe button if you would like to see more videos from me, and check the link down below to go to the Facebook group and to be able to see all the wonderful layouts that have been created for, well, today's the 9th, so for 9 days so far. I also go ahead and just add the 19 right there on the picture. I was totally cool with that. I was trying to keep everything within that line other than that senior element over at the top. And that's pretty much, I love those plaid hearts. So right here, this is where I'm reaching for the color shine. And I'm looking for the gold, I believe, because that little last banner piece that I stuck on, it's got gold in it. So I'm just going to mist it right around there. I am trying to remember to use my mixed media and products much more, along with enamel dots and stuff like that. I don't use that much. But that is going to be it for the layout. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.